All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a super straightforward, no-nonsense guide to actually winning at low-stakes, no-limit hold'em. If you feel like you're stuck and you want to turn your poker results around, you are in the right place. We're going to cover 10 simple, powerful strategies that are designed to plug your biggest leaks and, finally start building that bankroll. Okay, let's kick this off with strategy number 1. This is probably the single biggest leak you can plug in your game, like right now. Adopt a strict razor fold pre-flop strategy. This means you are completely, 100% banning one specific action from your game from here on out.
And that action is limping, just calling the big blind. It's weak, it's totally predictable, and it basically hangs a giant welcome sign for everyone else to jump into the pot, which just makes your life way more difficult. So here's the new rule. If a hand isn't good enough to raise with, it's not good enough to play at all. You either raise or you fold. Raising shows strength and lets you take control of the hand from the very start.
So building on that idea of taking control, we have strategy number 2. This one is a huge mental shift, but it's absolutely crucial. You have to start thinking in ranges, not in specific hands. This is how you really level up your thought process and get way ahead of most of your opponents.
So what the heck is a range? Well, it's just the entire collection of possible hands your opponent could have in a certain spot. Instead of trying to put them on exactly ace-king, you start using their actions to figure out all the hands they could have. Think about it. If someone just limps pre-flop, is it very likely they have pocket aces? No way. See? You just started thinking in ranges.
And that idea of position leads us perfectly into our third strategy, which is all about using the most powerful weapon you have in poker, opening up your range when you're in late position.
The simple truth is, position is money in poker. When you get to act last, you have more information than anyone else at the table. That is a massive advantage. And because of that leverage, you can profitably play a much wider variety of hands. Stuff like an ace-5 suited or a king-9 suited when you're on the button.
All right, let's get to strategy number 4. Pay attention to this one because this is where the vast majority of your profit is going to come from at these stakes. And that is value bet relentlessly.
You have to understand this one critical thing about low-stakes players. They love to call. They just hate folding. They're curious. They think you might be bluffing. And this is their biggest, most exploitable weakness. So your job is to take advantage of that. Even if you only have second pair, if you think for a second your opponent might call with a worse hand, you should be betting for value. Every time.
Now, let's flip the script and talk defense. Strategy number 5 is all about discipline, and this is the one that's going to save you a fortune. It's called overfold to aggression.
Let's just be real for a second. The average player at your local 1-2 game is not some genius running a sophisticated multi-street bluff. It's just not happening. So when they start betting big, especially on the turn and river, you can be pretty sure they have a strong hand. This isn't the time to be a hero and make a crazy call. Learning to make that tough fold is what separates winning players from everyone else.
Okay, let's pivot back to offense with strategy number 6. This one is all about sniffing out weakness and pouncing on it. You need to exploit passive players with your bets.
It's really this simple. Passivity equals weakness. When you're up against a passive player, someone who almost never bets or raises, and they just check to you, they're practically telling you they don't have a strong hand. That is a giant green light for you to bet and just take down the pot right then and there. Don't let those easy spots slip by.
All right, strategy number 7 is really cool. It's about spotting a very specific, and let me tell you, a very profitable type of opponent. It's all about understanding the inelastic players.
So what's an inelastic player? Basically, it's someone whose decision to call has almost nothing to do with how much you bet. If they've made up their mind to call, they'll call whether you bet $10 or $100. So when you have a monster hand against this type of player, do not get cute and bet small. You gotta go for maximum value and bet big.
Okay, deep breath for this next one. This is a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, but I promise you, it will save you so much money. Strategy number 8 is simple. Stop bluffing so much. We all see these crazy bluffs in the movies, right? But at low stakes, trying to bluff is usually a disaster waiting to happen. Why? Because you are playing against what we call calling stations. Their main goal is to just see what you have. Trying to make a player who hates folding fold their hand, well, it's just a losing play. Don't light your money on fire.
Okay, now we're starting to put all the pieces together with some more advanced but absolutely essential concepts. Strategy number 9 is this. You have to play the player, not just your cards.
Poker is not a game you play in a vacuum. You have to adjust your strategy based on who you're up against. So against that calling station we just talked about, you're going to value bet them relentlessly with your good hands. Against a nit, who's super tight and only plays premium cards, you can actually bluff more often and apply pressure. And against a maniac who's betting like crazy, you just sit back, wait for a big hand, and let them do all the betting for you.
And here we are. We've arrived at our final, and I would argue the most important strategy of them all. Number 10 is all about the mental game. You must control your emotions and focus on making good decisions.
Look, bad beats are going to happen. That's just part of poker. But letting that bad beat send you off the rails, making you play emotionally and chase your losses, that's what we call going on tilt. And tilt will destroy your bankroll faster than anything else I've mentioned. A true winning player has the discipline to know when they're tilted, get up from the table, and take a break.
So let's just wrap it all up. The winning formula for low-stakes poker isn't about some secret, complex strategy. It's about discipline. It's about being aggressive when you have it, folding when you know you're beat, and constantly adjusting to the players around you. If you can master these fundamentals, you will have a massive, massive edge over the competition.
At the end of the day, winning poker isn't about being fancy. It's about not making dumb mistakes and exploiting the really obvious mistakes your opponents are making. So as you head into your next game, I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. Which one of these leaks are you going to fix first?